before we head out, there is something that I actually really want to do. I wrote a letter to myself. Yes, I am one of those cringy people that, hold on, I need to lower you. Like my standards. That's up, Chey. Let's do something right on our birthday for once. How about that one, sweetheart? Stay close to your silver bullet, sweetheart. That's a terrible Locky. Alpha Wolf is never gonna let me in a show again. I was gonna quote, stay close to your silver bullet, sweetheart, and show those bloodsuckers some sunshine. Anyway, the important thing, why we're here, before we take off, before we leave, before we go on a birthday adventure, I wrote a letter to myself when I was 17, because this is dated from December 20th, 2017. I am not gonna show you the letter yet, because I don't know how much personal stuff is in here, and editing Chey will have to take anything out that is super personal. I'm hoping that it's not extremely personal, because I'm gonna react to it live here for the first time with you since writing it. I have been a very, very well-behaved lass, and for the past 7 years, I have not looked at this. Now, I wrote it in Evernote, and so while I'm scrolling through my notes, I could see, like, the first few sentences of it, but the first few sentences are like, hey there, me, isn't this meta? Cringe. So it doesn't, like, really spoil anything, so I technically have read some of it, but I haven't actually, like, read it, and, like, past the first 2 sentences, which are just an introduction. So, this will be my first reaction, in which, by the way, Chey, good on you. I'm very proud of you for holding out for 7 years, not even looking at this. That's insane. You're crazy and I love you. Which is more than I could say back then. That was that was just a pleasantly timed sound effect. I'm the greatest. So, I'm gonna react to this for the first time with you before we leave, and I am putting the pressure on myself to do it right now before I leave, that way I don't dilly-dally in giving all my reactions to this. I think this goes without saying, but any parts of the letter that get super personal or super in-depth or whatever like that are gonna be cut out of the video. But I do want to share this overall experience with you and my thoughts and hope that I don't cry, because I've already done enough of that today. We don't need to talk about that. Okay. So I will put some of this on the screen, depending, that way you can follow along, but I also will read it out loud for purposes. So it's aptly titled, When I'm 25, Read This. Hi there, me. Isn't this meta? I have so many questions, but first, let me remind you of where I'm currently writing this letter. I'm sitting in front of the heater in the bathroom on December 20th, 2017. It's one of the only warm spots in the house. You're home from your first semester at Georgetown, and God does it feel great. Oh my god. Okay, so that's the context that we're writing this in. My first year at Georgetown. My first semester. My first vacation from my first semester at Georgetown. Which was such a freaking culture shock. That feels like... It is, I was gonna say it feels like 10 years ago. It almost is 10 years ago. Ew. Okay, wow. Baby. Baby Chey. Baby Chey. Oh my goodness, so much would change in the next few months, sweetie. Alright, let's continue. And God, does it feel great? Yeah, you wait. Just 7 more to go! The popular memes right now. Oh, I'm catching myself up on the important news first. You know, what's going on in my life right now? Does not matter. Memes. The most popular memes right now have anything to do with terrible YouTube Rewind, Donald Trump, or just dank ones with the terrible text and drawings. Like deep-fried ones, which are still, yeah. What are the popular memes now? Are memes even popular? I'm sure they are. I mean, deep-fried is still good. Terrible, yeah, they haven't done a YouTube Rewind in forever, so, you know, that's not a thing. But still, deep-fried memes are still a big thing, so where are you? What are you currently doing? I'm reacting to this letter in a video. Where do you live? TN? DC? Somewhere else? What are you doing with your life? Girl, I wish I knew! I know where I live, I just don't know what I'm doing with my life, except for this right now. I am living in Tennessee. I'm living in another ancestral home of ours. You know, pretty much living here full time, so. What am I doing with my life, though? Mostly making YouTube videos, and, like, seriously, like, what am I doing with my life? Existentialism aside. Just doing my best, making YouTube videos, making art that I love, and being a freelance audio engineer. Living the dream, baby! Acting, writing comedy, bullfighting, petting dogs. Speaking of dogs, I'm about to let Hot Rod inside. Angel's asleep, and so are Lucy and Shadow. Okay, yeah, I actually might cry. Hot Rod is the only one of those dogs that is still around. Angel passed away, Lucy passed away, and so did Shadow. And now Hot Rod's getting up there in years. Oh my goodness. Oh, Okay, let's focus on the funny part. Acting? Yeah, still. Writing comedy? Yeah. this can be considered comedy, but I'm not really writing this. This is just happening. Bullfighting? Not quite. That's... I know that was a joke, but we are the joke. Petting dogs? Always. Okay, so... Hot Rod and Angel and Lucy and Shadow. Big babes. I'm gonna watch some YouTube next. Probably Pyro, as in Pyrocynical, Brandon Rogers, or no. Oh, wow. That is a throwback. Is YouTube still a thing? Did it get better or worse? Who do you like now? Are you a YouTuber? How's Rhino? I actually need to text him. But he's good. Rhino's doing pretty good, all things that I know. But we haven't, like... You know, Rhino is a friend of mine who I will not give his real name in case he doesn't want me to. But he's just one of those friends that's like you catch up every once in a while. But Chey, he's doing pretty good from what I know. So, yes, I am a YouTuber. Whether that's good or not, or I am good or not, is objective. Subjective? But you are one, technically speaking. Speaking of all these things, I'm gonna fire off all the questions I want to ask. Oh god. And look, it's just a wall of text! Chey, what the and there's a meme at the bottom. There's a wall, okay, there's a wall of text. We're gonna go through these rapid fire. Was the Chevelle ever painted? No. How about the Elko? No. How's the house? Still good, still a house. Do you have the river house yet? No, and it no longer exists because the people that bought the property tore it down. Are you married?
No.
Are you single? Yeah. Dating anyone? Not right now. Did you date anyone in college? Yes, but they were not at the college. It was a long-distance relationship. What happened with Lauren, Ren, Ian, or Sam? I don't know what happened to Sam. We lost touch. Ren and I kind of lost touch. We keep up on social media every now and then. Lauren's doing great. She got married. You went to California to go to her wedding and surprise her, and it was a really fun time. You had a great time. Ian, living the dream. He's traveling, doing amazing work. He actually comes to visit you sometimes whenever he's traveling through the area. He's still doing great, doing good. Have any people you're still friends with from college? Yeah, Julia's still, like, one of my best friends in the world. Ever go to a college party? Yes, and I hated it. What's Filthy Frank up to? He's Joji now. How about iDubbbz or Max? I mean, they're still doing their things. What's your political affiliation now? I mean, it hasn't, like, changed. How'd the weight loss go? Great, you lost, basically, yeah, over 100 pounds. You finally went to a doctor that understood your condition and got you on the right medication and helped you with health and stuff like that. Yay, hormones. Are you everything we dreamed of? Just gonna throw that one right in there, aren't we, Chey? No, but more yes than I probably would have expected. I'll put it that way. I don't like saying I became everything I ever dreamed of. I mean, because I'm not right now. But I don't want to say that to belittle myself. Like, I am definitely a lot of what I dreamed I would be or hoped I would be. So, give myself a lot of credit there, but I'm definitely not everything. But you're doing better than you probably expected. Like doing audio engineering and going to a bunch of shows and having like a metal community that you're a part of and just like getting to be around people that love the same things you do and having a great group of friends even if they're all online and you have no one in person to celebrate your birthday with. That last part was meant to be funny, but it came out kind of sad. On a real note though, like, yeah, a lot of the stuff that you dreamed, the metal community, like having metal friends, being involved in the music community, doing YouTube videos for fun, getting to make art and really just be you, which is kind of what you've always wanted, which is, you know, what a lot of people want, what most people want, I would guess. Pretty common wish there, Chey, but you know, it's a good one. And I'd say so far we're doing pretty well with it. So, on the way to be everything we've ever dreamed, but that doesn't mean we can stop dreaming, because who you want to be and who you are evolves, especially like in your 20s. I once heard Game Grumps, Dan was like, yeah, you're a new person every month in your 20s. I was like 19, I think, when I heard that, and I was like, huh, or like in my early like 20, 21. It's still true. It's still true. And so I haven't become everything I've ever dreamed yet, and honestly, I hope that I never do, because that would mean that I stopped dreaming and stopped evolving and stopped wanting and growing with new things. So I just want to keep being as much and reach for as much as I've dreamed that I would be possible. That makes sense. I'm proud of you. That's my point. Seen Bo Burnham yet? No, but he's blown up now, which I got beef about. I'm gonna sound like a hipster. I don't care. I've loved Bo Burnham. This is proof. I've loved Bo Burnham since 2017, and rightfully so. He finally blew up during the pandemic. But like, my boy, my dude, he's just great. But no, we haven't seen him yet. What's the best concert you've been to? Oh my gosh. It's, I was gonna say it's definitely a Beartooth show, but then I was like, well, and then I thought, well, they might come after me if I say that. Best Beartooth show would probably be the last Nashville one, or when I saw them in Atlanta in 2021. That was really sick, because that was like the first show post-pandemic. Or, non-Beartooth show, probably the Body Snatcher show or Alpha Wolf. Those are pretty sick. Pretty freaking sick. Or the one with Action Adventure. That one was really, really, really fun. You've been to so many, which is what one of our dreams was to constantly go to concerts. How's Summer, Savannah, Angel, and all them? They're doing great. How's Ben? How's Phil? I don't know which of those two friends that we're referring to. Wait, yes I do. Phil. Phil is doing great. I was like, I thought I spelled Phil wrong. No. Phil's doing great. Ben? I don't know which Ben you're referring to, but if it's the Ben that I think that you may be talking about, we don't talk to him anymore. Who's left in the family? Just a few people. Honestly, just a few. Do you still make terrible puns? Always. What's the farthest place you've traveled? Eastern Europe. What's your favorite place you've traveled? Probably Eastern Europe. Either that or I love the Midwest. Like, I love Oklahoma and I love Texas, and California was great, and so is Arizona. That's a hard one. That's a real hard one. I'm probably gonna have to say Eastern Europe and then runners up, Texas and Oklahoma. Just generally, like, I love it there. I'm sorry. And then Arizona because of all the rocks. Have you gone to Comic-Con yet? No. How about SHOT Show? No. Have you met BK, Jack, Jay, Fru, Alex, Odie, Ian, Mike, or the others? You've met Jack. And all of you were like, who the are all them acronymic people? Don't worry about it. We've met Jack. Jack's lovely. Jack's great. But we still keep in touch with a bunch of those people. Like, every now and then. Especially Fru and Jack. How was meeting them? Great. Well, meeting Jack, is great. Did SHOT Show happen like you expected? I didn't go. Questions about SHOT Show, which I did not go to, so I'm gonna skip those. More questions about SHOT Show that I am going to skip. Oh my gosh, so many of these questions are about soft rep people. Soft rep was a huge part of my life at that point, though. Been on the soft rep podcast yet? Nope. Been to the Rumble. What is the Rumble? I don't know what that is. What's the craziest thing that happened at Georgetown? The pandemic. Besides the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, when they snuck a pine tree, a fully grown, uprooted tree, into the boys' restroom in one of the dorms, that's one of the first things that comes to mind. Editing Chey will probably remember something else and come back to bring it in here and tell you, but right off the top of my head, the pine tree thing, or the Great Hound Dog Mosh of 2020. The Great Hound Dog Mosh of 2020. Never forget! Never forget, WGTB! Never forget the Great Hound Dog Mosh. You had to be there. You ever see a bunch of rich white kids try to mosh to Hound Dog? You should go to Georgetown. Do you have any pets? Yeah. Hot Rod? I was gonna say Angel. I miss her so much. I've forgotten all the animals that I have. Hot Rod, Cassidy, Sundance, Hank, Diamond. Kids? God, no. Thank God. Experienced anything insane yet? Yeah. A lot. How many ADTR concerts have you been to? I'm so jealous you get their new music. How many have I been to? 2 or 3. I've been to Fairfax, and I've been to Baltimore, and I've been to the Of Mice and Men show back in 2012. I think I've been to 3. I think it's 3. I think I've been to 3. Has MCR gotten back together? Yes, at least they did. How's 21 Pilots doing? Great! Their new album slaps the hard, okay? Their new album just came out like a few weeks ago. Like a week ago. It's incredible. You love it. You're obsessed with it. And I have no problem admitting that. I scream, overcompensate, and Routines in the Night, like, constantly. They're doing great. They're doing amazing. Is Jared Leto okay? What social media sites are now dead or popular? I mean, it's not really dead, but Snapchat is kind of dead, and Tumblr's dead-ish. I mean, relative to the time when I was writing this. Snapchat and Tumblr, probably, in comparison to, like, how they used to be. Facebook was already dying, so. But what social media sites are now popular? I'd say Twitch is a lot more popular than it was back then, maybe? Yeah, that's the only ones I can think of. What's your favorite current song or book? Right now, One of my favorite songs is probably Something by Prompts. I'm really loving the song Of Nothing with Kyle Medina of Body Snatcher, the song by Prompts, or Asphyxiate by Prompts, but also Overcompensate and Routines in the Night by 21 Pilots. As for current favorite books, it's kind of hard. I did just finish reading Dora Hedoro, and it was freaking amazing, so I'd say those are probably my current favorites, my current most recent favorites. Did Patrick Rothfuss ever come out with a third book? That's how long this has been, and no, he hasn't. How about the last Game of Thrones? I don't think it has. How many Assassin's Creed games are there? Too much. How many internet friends do you have now? Basically all of them are my internet friends. Did you ever see Hamilton or meet Lynn? No. Been inside the White House yet? No. I was planning on taking a tour, obviously, because I lived in DC at the time. I never did it. Who's the president? Joe Biden. How many articles or op-eds have you written for SoftRep? I think I ended up writing 1 or 2. Pretty sure. I know I wrote 1 for sure. How's life in general? Honestly, pretty good. Pretty good. All things considered in my past, in comparison, pretty daggone good. Really good. Yeah. Really good. Glad to be here. I am lucky to still be here, so very good. How did Supernatural end? We don't want to talk about that. Trust me, you won't want to talk about it. I'll think of some more questions soon, but for now, I'll tell you what I think my future is. Oh, this'll be interesting. I don't see myself dating anyone in college or even when I get out. I find myself being alone because of how busy we are and what we want to achieve in life. Okay, that's fair enough. Career-driven queen, we love it. I see dank memes staying the norm, and I see a revival of comedy to deal with the tragedy around us. A prophet, ahead of her time. I'm telling you, I was into Bo Burnham at the time. I'm telling you, goodbye sadness, hello jokes. I see YouTube getting fixed or the creators coming up with a site even better than YouTube. I see you traveling and making lots of friends and memories wherever you go. Aww. Well, if I think of any more today, I'll add them. But if not, I hope you're happy, safe, warm, well-fed, and loved. I hope you drink lots of hot chocolate and watch lots of funny internet videos. I hope you're following your heart and listening to music and making people laugh. I hope if the world hits back, you hit back harder and do what you do best. Be an individual. But for now, I'm hungry and my legs are falling asleep. See ya. Here's a no doubt old meme. And it's still funny. Okay, yeah. Wow. Tiny Chey. 18-year-old Chey. I love her. I miss her. I want to go back and give her a hug because I don't drink hot chocolate as much as anymore, but I do watch lots of funny internet videos. It makes me so happy to read, I hope you're following your heart and listening to music and making people laugh. Because in terms of that earlier question of are you everything you've ever dreamed, if that's part of it, I'd say hell yes, I've accomplished that, because those are 2 of the biggest things in my life, is listening to music, following my love for music, and making people laugh and making people smile. So, by that measurement, by that standard, yeah, we're everything we've ever dreamed. And I'm so proud of me for having those values back then, and wanting that for me, and I'm proud of me now for sticking to that, and following that, and being truthful to that, and just holding that close to my heart. So, I'm very, very proud. I'm very heart-warmed. I love her. I love her. Okay. Wow. Wow. I'm gonna write another one for when I'm 30. I'm not gonna do that on camera, obviously. But that was a fun trip through time. That was really fun. I honestly don't quite know what to think about that. I definitely think that I was a little sweetheart, and she needs a hug. She needs a hug. She has no idea what's coming in the next few years, even the next, 2 years that await her at Georgetown. But overall, I'd answer that things have improved upon her life. Some things have changed, obviously, that have not been so great, but overall, I'd say it's been on the up and up, you know? There's been hard times, there's been ups and downs and lows and all that, but we've done really good despite all those things, and I'm really proud of us. Proud of her, proud of me for making it where I am, and that really gives some perspective on how far I've come and how fast and how many things have changed since then. But I'm glad that the one thing that hasn't changed are 2 of my values of loving music and making people laugh. That fills my heart with joy to read that. To see how loving and caring she was back then. To me. To herself. it makes me, like, want to make her even more proud. You know what I mean? Like, make myself even more proud. Because I'm, like, looking at myself now after reading that, and I'm like, wow, I have made myself proud. I mean, I'm sure, like, there's always something that you can nitpick about yourself and be like, oh, this part of me, like, past me would be disappointed by, you know, or whatever. But overall, I think that I've made her pretty daggone proud. If I could tell her some stories that she would not believe. I tell people, or I joke with my friends a lot, where I'm like, if I went back and told tiny Chey this, or like middle school Chey, like this or this has happened, she'd be like, you're lying to me. Get the out of my face, you know? So looking at it like that, it's like, yeah, I've made her very proud. And it's really inspiring to like actually read it, and the values and like my hopes and my wishes for me, and like my questions, and like where some of my values have changed, and that's fine because you grow up and, you know, your priorities change. But to look at it and be like, wow, I want to continue making that me proud. I want to continue making the me now proud. So that way, future me when I'm 30 can look back at this, or, you know, look back at that and be like, wow, I made them even more proud. I did them even more better, you know? I'm emotional now. That's gonna be enough for that right now, though. We're fixing to get out and go get some lunch and go book shopping or record shopping.